everyone, this is your one and only lady, Womxhosa, the inspirational speaker. So for the longest time, right, people have always asked me what motivates me and what are the things that actually inspire me. And so I've decided to start this thing, which I'm going to call 26 life codes, which I'm working on, and basically I'll just be quoting all the codes which until now I've always kind of lived on, and they've always inspired me and motivated me. These are the affirmations I've said to myself during one of the toughest times in my life. These are things which, when nobody else is looking at me and is around, I'm able to just be alone and look back and quote them, I guess, and realize that they were the ones which were helping me get through some of the toughest situations ever. And I just hope that you'll be able to kind of get some inspiration from it and motivation. So for the first one, or for the first episode, I'll be speaking about this code, which, oh my gosh, the first time I ever heard of it was the person who ever told me about this code. I think I was 14. By that time I had no idea what speaking was about. I was not into this thing. This person was just a mentor of mine and a brother, and I'm talking about Mr. Lerato. He is an author, a psychologist, and also a speaker himself. And I remember this time, as I was saying, I was like 40 years old, and around this time he was just visiting me and we were chatting, and I was telling him about my dreams and how big they are, and how I think that there's no one which I know in my life who has achieved the things that I want to achieve and the things that I want. And he told me something which still today I look at and oh my gosh, I get my inspiration from it. The quote that he told me was, focus on your focus. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but what he said to me when he explained it to me was like, Arabo, you need to have focus on whatever it is that you want to get to. But for you to be able to actually achieve that thing, because it's so easy to start anything, it is so easy. But to actually see through, because there are challenges, at times it's going to be so hard, at times no one will even believe in whatever it is that you want to be saying. You got to continue to focus on that focus. So that was my first quote ever, inspirational quote ever in my entire life. And I remember after he told me this, I wrote a geography test and I didn't get the result that I wanted, and I was so disappointed, and I called him and I said, no, I don't like feeling like this. I feel like I'm a failure. I studied so hard and blah blah blah. That was, I was complaining as a young teenager, and he literally said those words back to me. Focus on your focus. That it's not meant to be easy. You do not get what you want this time. Go back. Continue to focus on that focus that you want. Those marks that you're looking for. Focus on them. And that is the only way that you will be able to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. It's so funny because even now I'm listening to one of my mentors also. He's also a mentor, but he's also a pastor. And he's actually talking about this topic, about having a focus and actually focusing on it. That at times no one else will see it. And it's okay, because it's not anyone else's responsibility to see it. It is yours. The vision is yours. You are the only one who is seeing it. So no one owes you that thing of saying, no one, I understand, here am I. The only thing that you need to do is to continue to focus on it, in spite of whatever it is that you might be going through. It is up to you and nobody else. And that is what I wanted to share with you today, that I know we're going through such hard times. We look at how many people have been retrenched, people have lost their loved ones, and this is a time where it kind of feels weird to come to people and say, your dreams are still possible, keep going, it is possible. Personally, I've had those days where I felt like, let me just give up. It's not going to work. It seems like everything is just against me. I'm against all odds. But then I got to remind myself of this, that I need to focus on my focus, that nobody else is going to do it for me except me. That yes, there's COVID-19, so what? Yes, maybe I've lost my loved ones, so what? Life happens, and it happens even to good people. You might be sitting there, you might be thinking, this is so unfair, I don't even deserve this. It's life. It happens to the best of us. That is why it's life. But you get back up, you burn out, and you just what tinta in my home language, that's what we say, and actually you go back to the drawing board. If it means that you need to get back to the start where you started off and kind of adjust and re-strategize and look at things that you need to change. Do it. It's part of the journey. It's part of what this is. This life, this whole thing that's called life, it's part of it. Go back and do it because this is your focus. This is something that you need to focus on, nobody else. So focus on your focus. The second quote is, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Now, I love this quote because I remember it reminds me of the time when I was in varsity and I could not go back to school or further my studies. And at home they told me that I need to drop out and go look for a job. And I was so devastated because for me, I've always wanted to get my qualification and that meant the world to me. And so it was during a time where I remember I was once told I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not pretty enough, I don't have the brains, I'm not smart enough. And it was so painful. I would literally be hearing these words from people around me. They would literally be telling me these words and it was so painful. And I was thinking at that time, how the hell am I going to get through this? I can't take myself through school. My parents are not here. Who am I going to depend on and rely on? And then I called up a friend of mine and I said, girl, this is what's happening, but I want to go to school. I was just lashing out and I was so heartbroken. And my friend said to me, you know what, you'll eat whatever I eat, you will drink whatever I drink, as long as we go to school. Come and squat with me, I'll just speak to my mother. And I could not believe it. So I took the chance. I packed up my bags. I told my family that, okay, if that's what you're saying, I understand where you're coming from, but for me, this is my dream and I need to do this for me. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I can assure you I'm going to do it. You can only imagine what I was going through. I packed up my bags and I left for Pretoria. And it was my second year. I'd done my first year. And I came and I moved in with my friend. The first 3 months, it was so terrible to a point where I would be literally walking to campus crying. I'd get to campus and I would chill with my friends. I would just literally break down because I would be asking myself, how am I going to make this? I'm not going to get through it. I would ask my friends to take notes for me, at the same time pack up and leave during a lecture, go and look for a job just so that I could be able to pay for my fees and rent, because at least food I had. Clothes, I didn't really care much about that as long as I could wear something and go to school. And I did that. It was tough. I couldn't understand why was this happening to me. I just wanted to go to school. I didn't want clothes, I just wanted to go to school. And I continuously told myself this, that Karabo, if it was easy, everyone would be having this qualification. If it was easy, everyone would be a graduate. If it was easy, girl, most probably every single family or their mothers out there wouldn't really be pushing so that their kids could get this qualification. They are pushing and are working and doing all those things for their kids for a reason. So for you, it might be an extra burden, but this just shows you how difficult this thing is. It was never meant to be easy. And I kept continuously telling myself that. And that got me through my second year and my third year until I graduated. And I could not believe it when I had to graduate actually after getting my diploma. Because for me, it was literally like a dream come true. I remember the day of the graduation, it was a bittersweet moment for me because I was thinking of all the pain I had endured, all the sacrifices I had to make, and I could not be like other young kids who did normal stuff or could spend money on whatever that case is. I had to be a parent and I had to look after myself through all of this. And I must say, and I will admit, during my course of my studies, I also met wonderful people. Because of what I had and because of my focus, and because I kept telling myself that I will push myself until something happens, I met wonderful people. I met people who would actually offer to pay for my fees. I had people who were there for me. There was one lady at some time who would even share her food, groceries with me. And that kept me going also because I started telling myself that, you know what, at least something is happening. So keep going and keep pushing yourself. So many people have left their dreams Miles Monroe speaks about this all the time, that the richest place ever is the graveside, because so many people have died with their dreams. If it was that easy, everyone would be living out their dreams, but it's not, and it's not meant to be. The only thing that we need to do is to persevere and to keep that vision. That no matter how difficult it is, I can assure you of this, trust me, if you keep going at it, if you take that risk, someone, some way will see it. Never ever give up and say that it's difficult. It was meant to be tough. It's a tough world. The world that we're in, it's a tough one. Every single day, it seems like things are getting from worse to worse actually. But that's just how life is. You don't thrive and make it, and we don't salute you because you have done it through the most amazing times ever. No, we look up to you and we admire you because you have made it through the toughest times ever. If you would look at the stories of all the people whom today would look at, you would be amazed at some of the things that they have been through. So that is my second quote, which has inspired me and motivated me, and has gotten me through some of the toughest times ever, specifically when I was in school. This quote, it was something else for me. It really kept me going. If it was easy, everyone would be doing this. And today, I'm the first ever graduate in my family because I decided to not give up. I don't know what you're facing. I don't know how difficult things are. I don't even know if you've got a support structure or system. I don't know. But my thing is, it's not meant to be easy. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible. Keep going and keep having that faith. Eventually something will come out of it. Thank you so much, and I love you. Bye.